would have said that shit on the show though. Like if the crazy shit I was about to say, I actually would have said it on the show. I can't lie. Because that would have been good. Like that would have been good content, and then it'd been like, whoever was fucking with me is gonna fuck with me now because I'm just saying shit like that. Whoever was already like, I don't like this, like they would have just did. That's some shit I would actually say on the show. But it was just crazy. So in the moment, I caught myself. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose this Bobby Alto shit.
Yeah, don't lose that. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. All Day Bets, Alex Segos, Manny, Ruffin. It is orange and blue skies. The New York Knicks have a 2-0 series lead against the Boston Celtics. That is not one, but two 20-point comeback wins.
I've been saving this question for the pod too. So how much money are you up right now off the Knicks?
Last night.
I wanted to ask that when I first saw you, but I'm like, that's a good pod question. That's a great pod question.
I mean, I did kind of sack the plus 400 money line last night. I took that on the bookie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had like 100 on the minus 110.
Tough.
Which was plus 10.5.
Tough.
And I was a little bit scared. Like I tweeted it out. Like I'm taking plus 10.5. And I was like, it's just a certified vibe play, like as a fan. Because honestly, after game one, I was like, the Celtics cannot shoot 15 of 60 from three again.
Well, I'll get into it deeper when we get to the series. But like, I wasn't really agreeing with the books. The game twos for me were stayaways, the Nuggets series and the Celtics series, because I'm like, this is really, to me, incorrect. So like, I wanted to take the Knicks and I wanted to take not the Nuggets series, the Pacers series. I wanted to take the Knicks and I wanted to take the Pacers, but something about them game twos, I was just like, why is it still 10.5? The lines didn't move an inch. I'm like, whoa, like, so I just stayed away. I wish I just would have pulled the trigger on both of them because we see what the lines went to now. But yeah, we'll get into that. That was fucking crazy though, as a Knicks fan. Every Knicks, like New York bookies are like, like I'm sorry, like this is a horrible week. Actually.
I will say,
when was game one? What was game one?
Was it Sunday or Monday?
If it was Monday, I'm sorry for bookies, bro.
Yeah, it was Monday.
Oh my god! And then they had to deal with game 3
Monday and Wednesday, and then game 3 is Saturday at 3:30.
So are New York bookies low key praying for a game 3 loss and not covered?
I will.
That'd be a full week of Knicks bettors just front. You know, people were live betting them. Oh my god!
Because now you know the system. I mean, we're gonna get into it, but the system is, I guess now you just have to bet the Knicks when they're down 20 at insane value.
Bro, we'll get to it. Because I was gonna get to the radio guys.
Yeah, the radio guys. All right, so I want to pull this up. I was just thinking about this today.
What, overrated, underrated, or are you pulling something?
And perfectly rated.
Okay.
I'm just gonna block what I have on here.
I'm not looking.
Okay.
I'm like looking but not looking.
All right. So this is just a little game we're gonna play. I'm giving him 5 things: overrated, underrated, perfectly rated. These 5 things. Let's start out with number 1.
Heard you.
Jalen Brunson. These are it's all over. Like when you hear what I have to say in this list of 5 things, it is from experiences to players to like I will give it away if I say it, but like it is.
So right now, you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna give my own opinion because I'm not gonna deal with the whole publicity thing because you know how I feel about Jalen Brunson. I personally think he's underrated. Now I think it's kind of coming to a light, but remember how I was talking about him last year in the Sixers series? Like I'm like talking to people like, what you this is surprise. Like, what do you mean Jalen Brunson is coming here and giving us 40? I'm like, yeah, he's giving it. Like what? Like so, I would say underrated just for my personal opinion, but now it's starting, especially with the last 2 games, game winner, Pistons series. He's gonna be perfectly rated, but. That's underrated.
And remember, like everyone.
No, like it's still there.
Everyone's saying it too. Like nobody thought after the contract, nobody thought he was going to be a superstar.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, he's coming here to be a good complimentary player, not the Superman. He's here to be the superstar, damn near the savior. So.
Okay, number 2, seeing a PGA Tour event live in person, excluding majors, because obviously you would say
I'd probably say underrated because my dad took me to the PNC when I was like 9 years old, not into golf at all, and I literally remember that event so vividly, like to the grass, like what Ricky Fowler's shoes look like walking across to now what I know what a golf course is where everyone walks across, like as a little kid. And I was like really probably sitting there picking daisies, my orange polo untucked. I just remember what I had on, like beautiful day. I'm pretty sure that was at I want to say Rodemaker or Marion. It was one of the big things when my dad wanted me to go. And he was like, I remember him telling me like, you're not gonna remember like why like I had you come to this, but you're gonna go over there and then you're gonna remember why I had you come to this. And like it's crazy because I remember that like on the golf course one time. Like yeah, it's just like shout out to my pops for that. So I would say underrated.
I only asked that just because
people don't know how like I even like me playing golf now. I would just like to see someone swing now. Like I was young boy just like picking daisies, and I remember.
I mean it just from like a fan perspective. Like when you're at the event, and I'm going to my first one as the truest this weekend. But for going to a live PGA Tour event, as you know, in person, you can't be everywhere at once. No. So like watching these events on TV is much more, I guess, you can argue enjoyable as the viewer because you get to see everything.
Well, there's two perspectives though. No, because like, okay, I'm watching on TV. It's Saturday, whatever. It's the Rocket Mortgage. What I'm locked in, whatever. But if I'm at the course, right? Let's say like the Farmers Insurance because Torrey Pines, right? Beautiful course. Watching people play Torrey Pines in a tournament on TV is sick because like like whatever the drama, whatever history, whatever. But then you go there. I think it becomes less about the drama of the tournament and more about I'm at this beautiful fucking sacred course.
For sure.
I'm hearing the ball whiz off these. Scotty Scheffler's on 12, par 5, taking deep driver off the deck. I'm hearing the ball whiz off his club. I've never seen someone hit a ball like this before. I think it becomes less about the drama of the event and more about being there and just like you're gonna go to fucking Philly cricket, walk around like a fucking like you're at the like you belong to the club for that, drinking fucking specialty teas and shit. Like I think that part of it is what makes it underrated. People might look on TV and be like, I'd rather watch the Masters at my house. Well, like probably on a Sunday, but shit, Friday at the Masters just chilling, almost acting like a kid again. Like I was saying, picking daisies, just looking at the trees and shit.
That's
like,
why I said
that's
like,
what I would
majors.
take in. And like I think it'd be sick anywhere. Like it'd be like even at a John Deere Classic. Like not to underplay it, but like it's just like I would just love to see that course, how it plays, what the layout is, like the undulation, all those fucking words that people say. But I think that stuff is really sick.
All right, number 3, ketchup on eggs. I told you we're going all over the place.
People rate this?
Yeah.
I've never tried it, so
really,
it looks fucking disgusting. Yeah, I've never tried it.
I think it does give it some good flavor.
I'm a cheese.
Most people would say overrated.
If I'm like trying to indulge on the day, light cheese, some mozzarella on top while I put it in the pan. But I've never done the ketchup.
All right, so you would be an overrated guy on that one.
I don't know, cause I don't like. Yeah, people got their things, man. I'm a fan of like, you know what I'm saying? It just look like y'all look grimy doing it, but Cause like there's some things where I'm like, why the fuck they do that? And then I try it, and then I'm like, okay. Like first, like black people like hot sauce. For the longest time, I've never liked hot sauce, and I've always wondered. Like I hang out with my friends, and they always put hot sauce on everything, and I'm like, they putting hot sauce on shit. I'm like, that actually looks banging. Like, let me put hot sauce on my chicken sandwich. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit smoked. But the ketchup on the eggs is like I'm looking at people do that, and I'm like, that shit don't look like it's smoke, bro. But you got it. Like, it might be fire, but it don't look right. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'll probably say perfectly rated. The people that do it probably know what's good with it. I can't say underrated, though, because that means I know what's up with it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, number 4, betting unders.
I'll say perfectly rated. Because, like, I bet unders in spots, but that's just because, like, I'm not going to say I understand, but when I first started betting, I had like, when you first start betting, you have like an eye for certain things. I had a weird eye for unders. Like not saying I was good at it, but I would just like kind of be like, oh, this seems like an under spot. Like, but I think the people that do like, oh, you're sharper if you bet unders and all that shit, and like it's like, come on, bro, you know what I mean? It's obviously more boring to watch.
That's what I mean.
Like, so I would say perfectly rated. I don't want to say overrated because you can make good money betting unders because it is more times than not a sharper bet, but perfectly rated because I ain't gonna get into that.
And then number 5, betting on your team in the playoffs. And I put that in there because if your team loses as a fan, you're already pissed off. But then if you have money on them as your favorite team in the playoffs, then it's a double loss.
Definitely not overrated. You're a pussy if you say overrated. I'm like torn between underrated and perfectly because like I love it. Bro.
It's either a double win or a double loss.
Because I don't really do the yeah, I'm gonna say underrated, bro. I feel like if you gamble and you really are about it, like that's an experience that you need to be going through. Like you need to feel the pain I felt when the Phillies are going to New York to play the Mets for the series, and it makes no sense for us to limp out like that, and I'm hammering it, the pain I felt. Also, the joy I felt when we're playing the Braves, and I'm like, there's no reason for me to be hammering this. We're going to lose. And Nick Castellanos is just ripping Strider to left field. Like, there's no better feeling than that. So I'd say betting on your team.
And I like that point, too, because from a gambling and a gambler perspective,
if you're really about it,
you have to go through that experience.
If you're really about it,
you
know
have
what I'm
to go through the double wins with winning as a fan, winning as a gambler. You have to go through the losses as losing as a gambler and losing as a fan.
And you have to, like, you have a great, like, let's say, like, the Knicks play at the late night game, and you've been slamming the games all day. Like, don't bet the Knicks like a put. Like, go ahead, put it on the like my day rides on the Knicks now. Like, that's the type of shit I think it's underrated. It's definitely stupid, but it's fun as fuck. So who cares? I don't sell a subscription, so fuck you.
All right, let's go to you got that.
I sent it to you on Twitter.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, bro. And like, I listen, man. I'm not trying to give this lady attention. It's nothing like this. It's more on like the subject at hand and what the lady is talking about, more so than the lady, if you know what I'm saying.
All right, so let's watch this on Bobby Althoff.
My husband says he's upset with me because, in his words, sweetie, you need to stop spending so much money on DoorDash. Ordering it 3 times a day is not appropriate, and we need to start living within our means. Honey, it sounds like you have an income problem, not that I have a spending problem. Start earning more money and we won't have these issues. So I took his credit card that we share, and I booked a vacation for my daughter Richard and I. We're staying in a hotel tonight, and I hope he enjoys that I charged $8,000 to his credit card. Make more money, darling.
No.
It's AI.
That's gotta be fake.
Bro,
That's gotta be fake.
Yo, I have 2 questions. So first question is, if this is AI, that is a sturdy AI job. They got me. Like, because for now I'm just gonna go like it's real. That's insane,
No, man,
yo.
we can't be doing that.
Where I was at when it was like, yo, I'm supposed to be able to, like, you need DoorDash 3 times a day?
Yeah, that's
if you DoorDash on my car every day, if I'm taking you, my girl, especially you married, got a kid, you DoorDash on my car every day, like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them things where I'm looking at my statement like, even if I got it, like, damn, this bitch running my DoorDash out every day, 3 times a day.
Does nobody know how to cook anymore?
That's what because I'm a cook. I cook, so that's why I'm looking at my shit every day. You DoorDash it every day. What? Like, I could just teach you how to make the shit that I make. That's how I'm gonna come with it.
Well, that's also the cheaper alternative. I don't
Chicks, I be
understand.
telling you, I don't cook. I don't know how to cook. You gonna learn. I mean, I cook. So one way or another, we gonna get this shit.
Why does nobody know how to cook anymore?
I don't. That's a great question. DoorDash, literally DoorDash. That's what. Like, you had to figure. Like, my mother, best cook I know, had to figure that shit out. She was hungry back in the day. Ain't no DoorDash. I mean, you could walk, but what if you're not trying, bro? That shit's 3 times a day. You gonna let Victoria's DoorDash 3 times?
No.
Like,
No.
bro, if you want to get your little work lunch covered, I'll cover your work lunch, baby. You got it. You know what I'm saying? You my honey bun.
But like, we're making
and
dinner.
if you have some days where you needed to do it twice, like, you my honey bun. I shouldn't see it every day. It's crazy. Shout out to bro. Didn't he divorce her too?
I think she did it.
Bro. All right, never mind. Next topic. I ain't gonna go in on bro. Salt in the wound. That's crazy. Yeah,
All right, over to the NBA, where the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics are now down 2-0 going on the road. Nobody had this. Nobody had this in mind.
First time in NBA history, all the home teams in the second round lost. Didn't cover. All money lines hit. Like, the Nuggets ruined what could have been crazy, but like, what the fuck are we watching? You know who's down bad right now? The people who pick sides. Like, on both, like the people who are like, I'm an NBA guy, the people who are like, I'm an NHL guy. Obviously, you're winning in your own respects, but both playoffs have been so incredible. So, like, whoever, like, you know, like the people who want to have like the fringe, like the Kirk Herbstreit fringe minority, like their arguments, both of them are so correct right now that, like, if you're on one other side having an argument, you're just down bad because you're not gonna win the argument. An NHL guy could win that argument right now as much as an NBA guy could. Both playoffs have been absolutely insane.
The Celtics were minus 1,000 to win the series.
Bro,
against the Knicks, and they're now minus 106 after game 2.
should we submit a John freezing cold takes and go viral? Talking about that minus 1,000 line when it dropped. Should we try to go viral off that? Because I was like, this is correct.
Freezing Cold Takes did make a post of Colin Cowherd because after game 1, he was like, this may go down as one of the most meaningless game 1 victories in history.
All right, that's
because
fucked.
it won't matter.
All right, that's fucked.
And then obviously the Knicks come back from 20 again and are up 2 now.
Yeah,
going back to New York.
That's fucked. I mean, we could just start with this series, bro.
I mean,
the contributions from everyone across the board in game 2 specifically is what rung a bell to me when I watched the game back from the third quarter on when it was 73-53. Because I was blue. Like, I mean, I'm black, so I can't say that. But I was blue in the face 2 weeks ago on this. Like, you feel me? I can't say that, but for the analogy.
I didn't get it for a second.
I was blue in the face on this podcast 2 weeks ago talking about why is the ball sticking in the third and fourth quarter when you have Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Cat on your team, Deuce McBride. I feel like the run that saved the game, or not saved the game, but the run that injected life back in the team was led by Deuce McBride. He gets a rebound when they're down by 20, dunks it. I think Mikal Bridges gets a layup next possession, then he comes down, hits a 3, cuts it to about 15 or so, 13.
Yeah,
and you're like
14.
It's manageable again. And you can see Deuce is like hyping up Jalen Brunson going to the timeout. And Brunson's kind of like, yeah, like, okay, like we got some here. And then you think like, okay, it's Brunson time. It became Mikal Bridges time real fast. And then what I was begging for was seeing him come on the court and Brunson's just deferring to Bridges. Go, you take the high pick and roll. You take it. I'm cool. And then the best part about it to me was with Bridges going off, there was a possession in the fourth quarter. I think the Knicks were down 10. Bridges was on the left wing, high pick and roll, I think with Cat. He kicks it to the left wing to Brunson for a wide open pocket 3, and it kind of gets him going settling into the fourth quarter to when it's winning time and it's Brunson time. I've been waiting. Like, if I saw the Knicks play like that in the pitching series, I would have never been that locked in on seeing the minus 1,000. Like, yeah, the books are correct. I'd be like, I'm betting the Knicks. Are you shitting me? This is what I was waiting for. And then the defense in general, like, this is a good matchup, quote unquote, because the Celtics take so many threes and the Knicks were in the regular season weak in paint defense. But it's been really, really good. The last possession of the game, people are getting game 1, Mikal Bridges the top to Jaylen Brown. Yes, that's Mikal Bridges. Now, Mikal Bridges is getting the block steal on Tatum in this game 2. I give the credit to that to Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby. Because this is one of the situations where there's so much nuance in this last play. I've watched that sequence back probably like 8 times. Celtics had a timeout. And Joe Mazzulla doesn't call timeouts in situations. You watch basketball over the years, you realize he doesn't call timeouts in situations. But there's people across the nation that I guarantee you are screaming, especially because it's a 1-point game. And you have, I think, 13 seconds? 13 seconds, was it? You have a lot of time. Definitely people screaming, call timeout.
Yeah, it was 12.7.
But if you watch the play, they saw it was a basic drag screen. Horford setting it for Tatum coming over across half court. They just got a free dunk on that play, the possession before, or 2 possessions before that, to go up 90-89.
Yep.
So you go back to the same look, no timeouts. It's kind of helter-skelter. Great time to run that after a free throw. Like, great time to run a play like that in general. So don't call timeout. I actually agree with it. Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby, great communication and teamwork on the pick and roll. You never want to leave Mitch Rob on Tatum in that situation. But if you watch the sequence back and you notice how connected OG stayed to Horford while keeping a foot in the paint to help and talking to Mitch Rob, because I'm pretty sure he's telling him, like, you can send a middle. Because most times you're going to get shaken out your shoes and give up a 3 or something. But Mitch Robinson also slid his feet great for a guy that big. And
7 foot, keeping up with Tatum.
100%.
Talk about
but
it.
I think it's because OG stayed connected in help while taking away Horford, talking to Mitch Rob, sending him back to me where he was like, okay, I have a teammate here. Helps perfectly to let Mikal come in inside and get the block. That was the winning sequence for me. As much as Mikal's there to make the play, it was Mitch Rob and OG. And if you guys win this series in 7 games, that's a sequence that I go back to where it's like, that is game-winning, championship-winning basketball. On the opposite side, game-losing, not championship basketball, Jrue Holiday on a foul to Brunson. I never thought, in this game 1, I watched game 1 back, and I'm saying, who does Jrue Holiday think he is? Even in game 2 of this situation. Bro, there was this point in, like, I think it was the third quarter, and the Knicks were making a run. Jrue Holiday gets up steal and backs all the way up to the. I'm like, who does he think you? What the fuck? This thing that you Holiday? What the fuck? Anyway, you're on Brunson. Now, Brunson's not much of a first step guy. He's gonna change directions on you, take you one way, take you back another way, get you on your hip. And like Drew Holiday knows that. But Drew Holiday plays so many first step guys, he does this thing where he tries to aggressively beat you to the spot and cut you off. Brunson likes that. Like if you aggressively cut off Brunson, he kind of likes that. He doesn't like when you're right in front of him and you're not really going for any of his feints or anything like that. If you get overstep on Brunson, he loves it. So what does he do? Spin off. And when he spins off, the vet that Drew Holiday, I think he is, just make him make a tough shot. We have guys in help. Horford's in help. Just make him make a tough shot. He might make it. He probably will. But make it. He reaches from behind and goes for the tap around. Bruh, you can't. On a guy that loves to foul bait. That is like Drew Holiday. I could get on Tatum. I could get on Jaylen Brown. I could get on a lot of guys in the series. From the Celtics perspective, I need more from Drew Holiday. And it's plays like that and the threes he's been taking before I pass it to a celebratory Knicks fan. I need more from Drew Holiday, dog.
I gotta just say and put a lot of respect and love on Mitchell Robinson.
100%.
In games 1 and 2, the Knicks won by a combined 4 points, and Mitchell Robinson has a plus-minus of plus 32. This is a guy that has dealt with so many injuries, has missed a lot of time in his Knicks tenure, and coming up in the biggest moments. You talk about clutch out of Jalen Brunson, you talk about clutch out of Mitchell Robinson defensively, and you put the regular season aside. This matchup is what the Knicks kind of built the team around for. They
100%.
Built this for the Boston
1000%.
Celtics. You take the positions out of it, the Celtics got Jason Tatum, well, the Knicks are going to put up Jalen Brunson right there. For Jaylen Brown, I would kind of argue Cat's that comparison in terms of player for that specific team. For Drew Holiday, I would put Josh Hart, defensive menace. And then you talk about Derek White. You put Mikal Bridges. OG fits in there. Like, the team is right now just built to beat the Boston Celtics. Now, again, there's zero reason that the Celtics should have lost games 1 and games 2. You had 20-point leads with 2 minutes left in the third quarter in game 2 and 5 minutes or 6 minutes to go in the third quarter in game 1. There's zero reason that the Celtics should have lost those games. I will say, this series is far, far, far from over. I do, even as a Knicks fan, I think, even coming to MSG and the hype that's going to be there in that arena, world's most famous arena, the real fucking Garden, by the way, I think the Celtics can get game 3. The Knicks find a way to get game 4. Celtics get game 5, and the Knicks win it in game 6 back at home. That's how I see the series the rest of the way. Knicks winning in 6, back at the Garden. And if I'm wrong and the Knicks go up 3-0, then you better close it out in 4. You better close it out in 4, or else we got a possibility of seeing a game 7 in Boston.
Do you have ESPN pulled up? I want you to double check something for me, because the reason why I have this series going to 7, and I think the Celtics winning 7, depending on a couple of things, but this is my first thought. The Celtics were pretty good at TD this year, pretty good. Not as good as you would think they'd be at TD. I'm pretty sure they were incredible on the road. Can you go to standings? I'm pretty sure they were incredible. Weird you would see a team like this, their record on the road, you would think it would be flipped almost damn near.
33-8 on
the road.
Best road team.
So when I'm first looking at it, 2-0, whatever, but they're going to MSG, I'm like, this team's been insane away. The only problem I have is how banged up do you think Tatum is? And not an excuse about affecting him his bad play, but do you think that is a factor that is going to affect him throughout the series? Jaylen Brown's battling things. You see a knee sleeve on Drew Holiday. You've seen Kristaps Porzingis. People are saying that he could be dealing with long COVID.
Yeah, the illness that he only played 13 minutes or 11 minutes in game 1.
To where I'm as good of a team this is away from the crib, the way your team looks right now, you had to take the first 2 at home, maybe at least 1. So I'm kind of with you now that the Knicks can wrap this thing up in 6, but I have to see how this at least the one game goes in MSG. Because I compare it to some of the Sixers series they've had with the Celtics. Sixers have been up 2-1. Sixers have been up 3-2. And there's been a lot of those games where the Celtics came back from 20. The Sixers should have been up 3-1. Celtics came back from 20. The Sixers should have been up 2-0. And for some reason, And this Knicks team right here is way better than any Sixers team I'm comparing them to, by the way. Maybe Jimmy Butler team, maybe, but this Knicks team is just better. For some reason, these guys have that championship DNA where they can find that second win late in series where you just, for some reason, you don't want to count them out at all. So I really got to see this game 3, which makes no sense because, like, am I giving too much respect to the Celtics that, like, I have to see them go down 3-0 or I have to see them win a game in MSG but really sloppy for me to be like they're done? Like, is that too much respect I'm giving to the Celtics right now?
I mean, no, because at some point we got to see them shoot. I mean, 10 of 40 from 3 after the 15 of 60 from 3 in game 1. Yeah. That's why I figured in game 2 that the Celtics were going to get it because I'm like, they cannot shoot this poorly again. And we know that the Celtics pull a lot of threes. We understand that. At some point, they got to shoot better. Yeah. At some point. And as a Knicks fan, as most basketball analysts were looking at this series, after game 1, it was like, this is a 1,000% win for the Knicks by just getting one, especially it being game 1 to start a series. But getting one in Boston, now it's almost like they're assuming they may lose game 2, but you did your job. You got one in Boston, and now you figure you got the home crowd for games 3 and 4, and regardless of what happens in game 2. But now you get to go back home with a 2-0 lead with all the confidence that you got and all the momentum behind you after 2 back-to-back 20-point comebacks. You can't find a way to go down 20 at home again for the third straight game because you can't keep doing this. There's just no way. And you talk about longevity last year is what brings it up for the Pacers for me is regardless if the Pacers are up 2-0, I mean, when the Knicks played them last year, they had their whole starting 5 out. I mean, and then you got 3 of your top dogs for Cleveland that were out for against the Pacers at home in game 2. So it's like the Pacers are finding a way to beat these good teams, but they're not playing. Their guys are injured. So now I'm almost hoping that, it sucks for Celtics fans, sucks for Cavs fans as the 1 and 2 seeds. But, like, I want that Knicks-Pacers matchup. I want that rematch because now OG's going to be there for the playoffs. Now Brunson's not going to have his thumb injury. Like, Cat's here now. Mikal Bridges is here now. This is the team, and everyone, I have to say it now, everyone is, like, bitching about, oh, this is why the Knicks sold their future. They sold their future for Mikal Bridges for these kind of moments, these defensive possession, game-winning, series and game-winning stops for these moments and these fourth quarters out of Mikal Bridges. They sold their future for that. Well, like you said before we got started, if you want to call it selling your goddamn future, you sold it for a fucking banner. You sold it for when you're walking into MSG for game 3 and you haven't had this excitement in fucking years. Like, this is why you did it. And this roster is built. You put the regular season aside. Couldn't beat the Cavs. Couldn't beat the Thunder. Couldn't beat the Celtics. They're fucking here now. And just as a Knicks fan, seeing how fired up everybody is, even after game 1, it was like, okay, Knicks fans, like, great win. But, like, come on, it's the Boston Celtics. But then you beat them both in Boston. I just couldn't be more proud of what they have been able to do. 20-point comebacks. Back-to-back games on the road. You just can't make this stuff up. This is like just straight out of a fucking movie. Can they just win the finals, then we can get a 30 for 30 on this goddamn playoff run, please?
I think there's a chance that the Celtics could make the finals. I mean, not Celtics. The Knicks could make the finals. The only thing that worries me about this Pacers matchup, and they can move to that series off of this point, is that they are just so deep. They can throw so many different bodies at you. They outscore teams at a rate that's unreal. Like, that's how you know them. But if you watch them play in the playoffs, they have so many guys that throw at you that they can just hound you all game with. And then their stars are starting to find their legs. I'm not – the one thing I will say about this, though, is, like, my gut feeling tells me out of these 2 teams in the East that are up 2-0, one of these teams are going to lose. And – I know you're a Knicks fan, right? But if you took your fandom out of it and as a betting man, if I told you that I guaranteed one of these East teams that are up 2-0 are going to lose and you had to put $1 million bet on one of them, who would you take?
I would take the Cavs to win the series at plus 164.
Really?
I would take the Cavs. Now, granted, I need to see Darius Garland playing. I need to see Evan Mobley out there. I need to see
it's like I feel like one of these teams has to lose, but there's also so many different variables on both sides where it's like, do they? Like, you got to go to Indy. Like, Indy is an MSG, but
For sure,
going to Indy down 2-0 is got to be top 5 worst situations to be in, I swear. Indy gets a lot of respect from me for their basketball culture.
Well, also, I'll say, I mean, in game 2, D-Mitch drops damn near a 50 ball, and if it wasn't for a 1 million IQ play out of Tyrese Halliburton and a shot of a lifetime, we're tied going back to Indy. We're tied going back to Indy.
Other thing is, like, yeah, I mean, that team's DNA is insane, first of all, because it did it in the Bucks series. You do it again this series. They did it last year. That's one of the things about watching the Pacers that's just insane. It's like you don't necessarily like have like one of them closures in these games that like is walking you down. It's contributions from Benedict Mathurin. It's contributions from Andrew Nembhard. It's contributions from Neesmith. It's contributions. Obi Toppin could have been player of the game in games. That's why I'm like would be scared of that team in series because they're so deep and they just have so many guys that can get you on any given night and they're all ready for the moment. I guess I might have to side with you though. I guess I would pick.
Also, you get better value too.
I guess I would pick the Cavs because, like, think about it. Game 6, Game 7 is kind of the wire. Like, I guess I do trust the Knicks more in that situation with the guys they have on their team. But fuck, man, I feel like I'm just saying this, and like everyone else has been in the last 2 years. Even though we have them slotted as a top 4 team in the East, just feel like we're kind of sleeping on the Pacers a little bit.
FanDuel has both of the East playoff series as their series total games. They have the line over under for both of these series at 6.5. And it's plus money, plus 158 for the Cavs and plus 138 for the Knicks Boston series to go over 6.5 games.
Yeah, I would hate to have to put that. If I had to put that bet in right now for a series, it sounds insane, psychotic. But I would actually rather put it in for the Cavs series than the Celtics series. It sounds insane. Something about the Celtics team, though, doesn't feel right. Now, there's people making comparisons to this Cavs team. I saw a meme that they're like that Hawks team back in the day, which I get it. But for some reason, I kind of trust what I'm seeing. It makes, to me, what I'm saying makes no sense, but I trust what I'm seeing from this Cavs team that I think they could stretch this to 7.
Well,
I like what I'm seeing from my stars more from the Cavs. Like Donovan Mitchell. Not really stars because we're not really healthy, but I like what I'm seeing from Donovan Mitchell more so than what I'm seeing from Tatum and Brown. And then my guess that he can get you 1 or 2 himself. I don't feel that way about the Celtics stars right now, if you know what I'm saying, to where I feel like they could go 7. That's why I'll probably pick the Cavs.
I mean, I would just say for the Boston series, like, just to briefly go back there, I will completely not be shocked or surprised if it's 2-2 going back to Boston for Game 5. I mean, really not.
Nope, not at all. Nope.
Because, again, the hierarchy point is that they had 20-point leads with less than half of the third quarter to go. I would not be surprised if Boston wins Game 3, Boston wins Games 4, and then we're going back to Boston for Game 5.
I agree.
And then you're seeing a potential 7-game series. Now, for the Knicks, in the overtime game, Mikal Bridges played 51 minutes. So you talk about longevity of these guys. Like,
then you got the Pacers coming in.
Then you got Pacers, and then whatever the hell could happen out of the West. Yeah. But talk about rest and fatigue of what it was last year in that Pacers series. Let's just try to get it done as fast as humanly possible.
Okay.
Figure it out.
Okay, buddy. Let's go to the West, man.
All right, let's go to the West, where the Timberwolves and Warriors series.
Why did we have to start at heartbreak?
Where Steph Curry will not be playing in Game 2 with that grade 1.
Okay, so
hamstring.
I don't want to. I just thought it was just funny. I'm just thinking this is funny. Did you see the tweet that I was like, if LeBron came out with a hamstring strain after Game 1, everyone would be saying this is an excuse. If it's Curry, everyone feels bad for him. It's actually so true. I think it's hilarious.
Well, they saw him after he lost the series and got eliminated. They posted a video of him limping, and they're like, why is it every time LeBron gets eliminated, he's limping and he's making an excuse?
So
I'm like,
I didn't know if we could get it. I actually haven't thought about that because it's like, okay, because I seen that and I was like, is this nigga exaggerating? Like, I'm like, is you really that? But I'm like, he's 40, dog. Like, I don't know, so I can't call it. I'm gonna just give him his grace. But, goddamn, dog, Draymond Green, shit me, like something that's gonna go down when they make the documentaries about the Warriors teams. Draymond had so many games. And it's not even like, I forget what he finished with in game one. Was it 20? Was it even 20 something? Was it 22 or something? Or what? It might have even been like 15, 16. But the gravity of the threes that he's making and how it feels in the game, when they make the Warriors documentary, there's going to be like 3, 4, 5 playoff Draymond games where he has games where it's like, yeah, we lost if Draymond doesn't hit these 4 or 5 threes out of nowhere for the first time in like 3 months. Unbelievable from him. Timberwolves fan, like, that's gotta be like, many fans. I feel like deep down inside, I don't know too much of their history, but I do know for a fact they're one of those fan bases that like always, like, it's almost like old Philly teams before they got the championship. In the pit of their stomach, they always feel like they're gonna get let down. I feel like if I'm a mini fan, I'm almost out, bro. We didn't just lose when they didn't have Steph Curry. That final score doesn't do it justice. That game was a fucking wax job. It was bad. I had to see the game. They play tonight?
Yep.
I had to see the game tonight. I had to see the game tonight. How we readjust. But as a mini fan, knowing their history, I'm feeling so bad right now. Obviously, this is what you got Jimmy Butler for if you're a Warriors fan. But it wasn't even Jimmy Butler. It was the totality of the entire team was just doing you in. Everybody was going to work. I would feel horrible if I'm a mini fan, but also, like, did you see the post-game press conference when they told Ant he was, correct me if I'm wrong, 12 for 76 in his last 98 three-point, or 76, whatever it was? So how long can that go on for? Because I do remember he didn't play that well in the closeout game in the Lakers series. He didn't play that well in that game at all. And obviously didn't play well in this game one. How long can that continue? I don't know. And I also would like the fact that he heard that when he has another game at the crib. Because if he can get going in this game when there's no Steph Curry, and let's just assume Steph plays game 3, whatever, and he can feel like he's getting going into that game 3, it becomes a different feeling series. But right now, it's looking like the Warriors are making another Western Conference Finals, and it's crazy. It sounds, if Steph didn't get hurt in that game, like let's say Steph doesn't get hurt in that game 1, no hamstring strain, nothing. They win that game 1 in the same fashion. I promise you, I'm sitting on this seat right now, and I'm like, are the Warriors about to win another championship? From what I'm seeing across everything, how the East is shaping up, how the West is looking. We'll get to the next series soon, but how it's looking with these teams looking at least vulnerable. To me, it was setting up for a storybook, another Steph Curry run at the chip, which is fucking crazy. I'll give Ed has another chance, though. Ed and all of them have another chance. I'm looking at Jaden McDaniels. I'm looking at Julius Randle. They need to have big games this game, too, as well.
But again,
far from over. But holy fuck, I'd be feeling horrible right now.
But best case
Definitely
scenario.
Definitely not minus 200 wouldn't be feeling like.
No, but
like
that's what I mean for Steph being out game 2. Best case scenario was you get game 1.
Absolutely.
Because then, okay, obviously losing
but
sucks, but like
just
at least it's tied. You're not down 2-0.
It's just the fashion that it was done. Watching the game, it looked so dominant.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is too, like, you got Buddy Hield killing you. You
leading scorer in that game.
You sign Buddy Hield
plus 10K,
and you think you're gonna get a Buddy Hield game, and it comes in the Rocket series that I think, okay, you get the Buddy Hield game 7, it gets out the way. If you win the championship, you look back at that game 7 in Houston and say, we don't get here without Buddy Hield. Now it's turning to the Buddy Hield games, and it's like, how? And if you know Buddy Hield, how long does this go on for? Because the whole lore about Buddy Hield is he goes to a team. He's insane for a month, and then he's shit.
Yeah.
Goes to a team, he's insane for a month, and then he's shit. Well, it happened with the Warriors where he was insane for a month, and then he was shit. But he's never been in a situation like this with a team, and they made a playoff run. So we've never seen what it was like if Buddy Hield got hot in the second round. We've never seen what it was like if Buddy Hield got hot in the Western Conference Finals. This could add a new element that Steph Curry's not back 100% in the series. It might not even be that bad if Buddy's running off the same action they run for Steph Curry and adding the same attention that he's having because he's dropping 5-6 threes in your face every single game. Every series, like we even get to the last week, every series has gotten so fucking interesting for me as a basketball junkie. Just watching the adjustments and how these players, like the body language on the Timberwolves players when Buddy's just bombing through Draymond's, what is like, first it's Draymond, then you're like, all right, it's Draymond. Then it's Buddy, and it just feels like you can't get out of it. And watching their body language and how they want to fight back after it. Chris finishing the post-game pressure. If I had to tell my star to be ready for game one, I don't know what the fuck. Then you have Ant going like, oh, I thought I played good defense. I just can't. And I'm just like, I can't wait to watch game 2 of this series. The NBA playoffs have been insane. I think I'm scared if I'm a T-Wolves fan though. I'm very scared. I'm very, very scared. I don't like this minus 200 either. I guess I would have to see how Steph moves in that game 3, but I wouldn't hate pulling that plus 172 at all, bro.
Yeah, for the
But
Warriors.
you do wonder if the T-Wolves win this game, what does that jump to? With you getting Steph back in game 3 so maybe you just wait. Maybe you do just wait.
Yeah, they're still setting lines at 6.5 for the total series at plus money.
Maybe you do just wait.
And then you go to the Thunder and Nuggets series in a dominant 40-point win in a game where SGA drops 34 and it's a 43-point win for the Nuggets. I mean, you got the Thunder that are now minus 550.
How do you feel about that?
I think that's like you're downplaying the Nuggets. Right?
Like if we're on like a 2-3 week like golf trip in Vegas, you got some money on you. You throwing the Nuggets in the parlay with the Knicks, win a series, fuck it, juice my shit up. Would you be down for that?
I would be, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like that's a bad number.
Well,
I just feel like it's a bad number.
Aaron Gordon stealing game 1, like that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
So I like that you referenced game 1 because I wanted to start there. That's where my hope gets into this with the series. And victory lap mook, like we might have to like call that, because I said this months ago when we were questioning the Thunder, when I was telling people why I was betting on the Clippers and the Lakers to win the West. How I know they have Shea, but NBA teams can scheme for a guy. Like we see guys take over games late, but you can scheme for a guy. And it's not going to be every single game of the series. You're going to need other guys to step up. On the Thunder, who is that? And I love J-Dub, but J-Dub game 1 was giving us the same reasons why he was getting a lot of criticism last year in the Mavericks series. Like J-Dub, you're supposed to be the Robin here. Every time we need you to be Robin in a high pressure situation, you kind of the cape come off. We don't know if there was ever a cape there to begin with. And then you go into the post game pressure, and then you act like you off. I don't even know what I would say. What kind of drugs he looked like he was off of. I don't even know if it's LSD. If he was doing what's the balloon joint? If he was popping them bitches. Like he going them joints in a different world. Like you didn't just blow fucking game 1. Then you come out game 2 and have that performance was good. I'll stay on game 1 now. But that's where my concerns is. And then you see from the 10-minute mark on from game 1 to when the game was over, Jokic was in complete control the entire game. Like, I'm talking down to drawing up the plays on the timeout. He's drawing up their ATOs. Like, he's in complete control of the basketball game. So I'm watching that, and I'm like, first and foremost, I'm like, fuck the Clippers and fuck the Lakers, because I think both of these can still beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. Second of all, does Jokic not get enough like credit and respect for what he does and what he's doing? Just and my focus is on game 1 still. Mike Malone's fired, and we all regard Mike Malone in that high echelon. Maybe not like the Spoelstra echelon, but maybe one right below that. Would you say we have Mike Malone there? Just great coaches. You know what I'm saying? Fire him late in the season. We're all like, all right, well, fuck, they ain't no way they're going to beat the Clippers. I mean, Clippers, like, they playing good ball. When's that series? Looks like he has complete control of the team. Like, he's yelling at guys on defense, coming back down, telling them to do this on offense, patting them on the back, going in the timeout, corralling the team, coming back out, huddling them up. Then has complete control on the offensive possession. Like, down the stretch, leading the comeback, getting assists, tap assist. I think he had like 30 and 20 or some shit like that. Hits the 3 over Hartenstein with a minute left. That like just adds to like why I have Jokic in such a high tier. On top of that, before the 3 to Hartenstein, backing down guys, hunting the switches on Caruso, which people were like discrediting him for, hunting the switches on Dort. Just had complete control of the game. And I'm watching. I'm like, I know Shea's great, but is he ready for this level of basketball? Like, is he ready for this? Then you go to game 2, and they make their statement and they answer a lot of questions that I had. But I want to ask you, like, based off what I said earlier in the year about this team, watching game 1, 2, because we'll say game 2 was an adjustment game. They won the game by 40. As a basketball fan and seeing this movie so many times, a team winning a game by 40 to tie series really doesn't move me. Like, I don't really think they're going to just win the series off of that ever. Like, it's just you won the game by 40, good for you. But I do wonder, like, do you think Shea can go band for band with Jokic in these close games that I foresee happening down the stretch of this series to take him over the top? Because it's probably going to have to be that. And the way that Jokic, like, command the game, like, do you think Shea has that?
I 1,000% think he has that.
Yeah.
Went 33, 10, and 8 in game 1.
Yeah.
Another 34 piece in game 2.
Yeah.
When you won by, it was 43 points.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes.
Yeah, so it's not as much as Shea as the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Chet at the free throw line.
That's like Mitchell Robinson had the free throw
line. Yeah. Yeah. So I actually do agree. I think Shea can go band for sure, but it's going to come down to the other guys. And how much do you trust that?
But I think the reason why the Thunder are now minus 550, I would have liked to know what it was after game 1 for series betting. Because they win by 43 points, like, that definitely had to jack them up as minus 550 in a tie series.
To where, like,
the Nuggets are 4-1 to win the series.
You wouldn't hate buying now at all.
No,
bro.
not at
What's
all.
the series spread if it's 4-10? Like, the series spread's got to be, like, they don't have, like.
They don't have just series
no,
spread.
they do. Nuggets plus. Wait, yeah, show more. I see Nuggets plus. Damn, I was like, what's plus 2.5? Minus 220. Damn. I was
Nuggets
like,
plus 1.5 is plus 128.
It's losing 7. I'm not too confident in that. I would have loved to see a good number on that 2.5.
And this series total games is over under 5.5. And that's favored at minus 188 to go 6 games.
That's not right.
I feel like that's not right.
That's not right. Should we take advantage of that? Wait, that's not right.
Does that mean they have OKC winning in 5?
Hypothetically, yes. But can we go to the series total games or correct? Like, that's not right. 6
games is 2-1.
I would bet that.
I would take that too.
I would have 1,000% confidence.
But that's bullshit. How is 6 games plus 205 and 7 games is plus 205? Why are they the same value? 7 games has got to be like 305, 405.
This is what I'm saying.
I don't get that.
We need to start going harder. Like, that's a question I would love to ask John Ewing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to ask that question to John Ewing. You feel me? Or whoever, if we get a fan to rep on his joint. I would love to ask them that question. Like, how is that variance even correct? I don't know. But I think I would take the 6 games. I think I like the 6.
I would take the 6 games.
Well, it's like, what the thing is, though, you take that right now, they got to go to Denver, dog.
Yeah.
And I don't, like, if Denver wins that first game, I don't like this. I would bet the 7 if I had better odds, but is it puck time?
It's puck time.
I'm so excited for this.
All right.
I'm so excited. So I need some education on the Cap series, but that's it.
Yeah, like that's the series that I'm most scared about, just because the Capitals in game 1 led literally the entire game.
Yeah.
On 1 goal.
Yeah.
And then blew it in overtime.
Well, so that was the game. Well, okay. If the Hurricanes lost that game, bro, you couldn't feel correct losing that. I got home from work in the third period of that game. Wasn't the shots like something ridiculously agreed? Like, that's like, oh yeah, I literally had a text. I'm not gonna find it. It's gonna take me too long to find a text, but I was like, this is literally when you play FIFA Pro Clubs and the expected goals for you is 3.45 and the other team is 0.25 and you lose 1-0. Like, this is like what it was. Like, that's what I felt like I was watching. Like, if the Hurricanes lost that game, that would have been fucked. Absolutely fucked.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Capitals fan, like, that's the one you had to get
for sure.
Especially being the home team in this series. So now you lose game 1 at home.
Is that game 2 tonight?
That game 2 is tonight.
Yeah, I gotta tap in with that series. That's the one series I haven't seen a full game of. I gotta tap
Hurricanes
in
are
with that
minus 465 to win the series.
series. I don't know about that on hockey and with the whole. You know what I mean? Shout out. You know what? One thing I like too. I didn't know. Shout out. I was watching it. We're on the Vegas Night series. They do such a great job, man. NHL top to bottom, from the production of the game, from the announcers that they have in the game, the color commentary, the between period shows. I say what I have to say about PK Subban, but he does a great job on that halftime show. Chris Pronger came on. He's doing a great job. Specifically, they literally changed how I watched the Stars game. They went into, it was at the first intermission of the Stars game, the last one, and Chris Pronger and PK were talking about how they do this. I think he said 1-2-2 at the blue line, and it, like they do like a kind of like a house shape, and they stay connected, and they showed the film, and I'm literally watching the rest of the game, watching that, and it's like they do such a good job, man. And specifically what I was talking about this series, they showed the 2015 draft and how it was McDavid, Eichel, Strome, how do you Dylan Strome? Is it Strome?
Strome, yep.
Dylan Strome, and they obviously you see Eichel and McDavid there, but the guy who's talking about it, it wasn't Sean McDonough, the other guy who was doing a hell of a job. The guy who he called the fucking Maple Leafs game last night, Bobrovsky, dude, he is sick. That's what I'm thinking, bro. They do such a good fucking job. But he was saying that Ovechkin owes a lot of him breaking that record to Dylan Strome because he's done such a great job of setting him up this year. And then you look down that 2015 draft, and then I see Mitch Marner there, and I'm like, Mitch Marner this year has become what Panarin was for me the last couple of years, where like a guy that just has dimes out, playmaker that I love watching. Like Mitch Marner's grown into one of my favorite players. But before we got into the series, I wanted to shout out, and this is as an NBA guy, they do a way better job of educating the fan of like kind of just like the lore of NHL and what. Bro, they went back to the 2015 draft, but it helped so much because I was like, yo, like that's fuck, they all here, they all them. Like, so I just want to shout out NHL for that. They do a fucking phenomenal job, man.
I do like how, you know, on FanDuel for NHL playoffs, they're doing specials. They're calling it puck drop specials. So you can do it by the day. So like for Thursday night slate, May 8th, you have daily shot specials. So one of them is every team to record 5 shots on goal in each period. That's minus 110. You even can do total goals scored in the 2 games, that's over under cool. 12.5. Like, I just wish at least.
Do we just ride that? Isn't it a doubleheader tonight?
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
It's that, and then it's the Vegas game.
Oh, wait, but the Hurricanes and Capitals.
And it was only 2-1.
They ain't going to score now.
I think.
God damn it.
I think that this.
That would have been a great one to do, like with the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
That's a great one to do for that doubleheader.
I think for the Vegas Oilers series, it was under 6.5 in game 1. I'm looking to take the over in every single game.
Bro, Aiden Hill. I didn't know he was like that. I did not know he was like, and I feel like they stay. How does an expansion team stay with a good goalie like this?
Because they're able to draft like a lot of good players from every team. They made it to the cup final.
When I think as a casual fan of hockey, I think expansion team. I think, okay, they should probably have some pretty good like vets, throwaway guys. If you throw them on one team, they'll be pretty good. Goalie might be might be a KHL guy. Every goalie they have is not like. I mean, I heard Aiden Hill kind of struggled in round 1, but enough to get him through. But he looked insane. I think it was the first period of that first game looked absolutely ridiculous. Someone else from that series too. Connor Brown, is it? Yo! I looked up his NHL on NHL.com. He's not gonna make no All-Star games. He's not gonna win no whatever Vizindikov, whatever y'all be calling him awards. He ain't gonna win none of that. But the motherfuckers that can do that NHL live deke shit so smooth, like they get on my list of favorite players hella fast. And he had a goal and assist, I think. Oh no, he had a one-on-one that he missed, and then he had a goal off the same kind of deke move that was super fucking smooth. One thing I didn't really know either, like that bull Mark Stone been around the block. He be doing that shit. He be doing. I didn't know he been around the block. I didn't know he been around the block like that. He been doing that shit. This series, that's a fire series. Obviously, Josh Sells' goal, I think it's probably a regular, like the tip goal he had. I guess it's a regular hockey goal, but to me, the hand-eye coordination on that, like coming past the fucking goal and just like tapping it on that angle, to me is fucking insane. But I guess betting that series, right? When I'm watching the game, they said the Knights have never blown a multi-goal lead at home in the playoffs. and the fact that the Oilers were able to overcome that deficit, almost making it look easy. And then like no one, just because I'm as a casual watching this shit ton of Oilers games, they come back a lot. Like they don't like to play hockey until like 10 minutes left in the second period anyway. Is this just a bad matchup for the Golden Knights? I feel like
yeah, but I think they should be able to find a way out of the series. But I mean, the Oilers again, 3 back-to-back years where they get the Kings, and then they are able to just kind of steamroll through it in 6 games. I wouldn't be opposed by taking the Oilers. If you look at the betting odds for that series, you got the Oilers that are now, again, they won game 1, but they're minus 215 to win the series. It's all going to change if Vegas can tie the series up. Vegas is plus 176 to win the series. I just am looking at over. I know they're setting it pretty high at 6.5, but like Toronto's been doing it, and I want to shout out Toronto.
Bro.
2-0.
Bro.
This is great for Toronto. This is great for Toronto. You look at the conferences right now. Toronto is 2-10 to win the Eastern Conference.
That series is fucking sick. Where did Jack Wall come from? I don't know these people at all. So like he's like been around the league before and like playing on teams in the playoffs and shit.
It's just wild to me.
Like where do they come from doing the shit that they do?
Playoff hockey.
It's absolutely incredible to me. And then, bro, Bobrovsky had a save. So he had there was one sequence where I talked about with the guy, the announcer had the call, was like, Bobrovsky!
Yeah.
So the pitch came down, and Jack Wall had a crazy stop. And then Marner passed it to, I forget who it was, but then they had a one-on-one, and Bobrovsky gets a stop. That was insane. But then he has another one where like it takes a deflection off someone, and he kicks it with his fucking stick. How do you even possibly do that? Next question I have about the series. People like, so I remember talking to you about Max Domi. Like, don't you not like that guy?
I had
he is fucking disgusting. I was watching the highlights from the one game of the Center series where he came across the middle of the ice and and like put it between the one boy's legs and finish it off the bar. I was like, nah. He's crazy, bro. And then the goal he scored in this game, crazy finish. Like I didn't know Max Domi. I think I heard about him being like an enforcer type, hustle player type. He don't seem like that to me. It looks like I'm watching Travis Konecny on roids, bro. Like no cap. TK might be better than him, but I'm just watching him in the playoffs. I'm just like, damn, it reminds me of some shit that TK would do. Question though, Austin Matthews, like people will say he's a star of the Maple Leafs, right? I don't feel him when I'm watching this team ever. Am I not watching the game correctly? Do I just not know enough about hockey yet? I don't feel him.
Well, statistically in the playoffs, it's William Nylander on that team.
He's insane.
Yeah.
I just don't feel him. Is it just like a hockey thing? Like I just don't feel him at all. I know like every other team, bro. I'm not gonna use McDavid because that's a bad example, but like Eichel. Gotcha. Can easily tell.
Really though, like
Kyle Connor can tell. Easily tell.
Yeah.
Can easily tell. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the fucking goddamn. I'm watching the Wild even. Kaprizov. I can easily tell he's him. Like you feel me? I'm watching the Maple Leafs. I'm like, this y'all like that's him. Like
I mean,
not your team nice though, but even the way people talk. But like even on the USA team, he was getting that same kind of pub, and I'm like watching the USA game, and I'm like. Austin, like, he all right. Like, I not know enough hockey to know what he brings to a team is what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's you not knowing enough or you just haven't seen
Austin Matthews moments.
Yeah,
maybe I'm just unlucky or something. I'm like,
it's the same kind of like I guess aura when McDavid's skating up with the puck. When you have
Austin Matthews?
When you have Austin Matthews with a puck coming at the slot,
no
like
way.
Like we're in trouble.
No way. Are you serious?
It's very, very close. It's very, very close.
So like the way I'm watching the Winnipeg Jets game the other night, and when Kyle Connor gets the ball in the slot, the whole stadium stands up.
I know, and the announcer.
You're telling me when Austin
Connor with the drive.
When Austin Matthews has the puck, it's more.
No,
it's McDavid left.
It's very close. It's very close.
What?
It's very close.
To me, it's not even over Zibanejad.
No, it's definitely over Zibanejad.
He's got to do so. He's got to show me something, bro. I haven't seen it. I think give me Brady over Cuz.
No.
at least I feel Brady no Diddy when I watch the Senators. I feel him. I don't feel Matthews at all. I feel Mitch Marner more when I don't feel Matthews, bro. Maybe I'm just seeing bad games. He might even be having bad games. Do I not know enough about the goddamn sport to know, like, is he not, I'm not, this is disrespectful. This is disrespectful. And I don't please don't take this the wrong way. Don't take this the wrong way. But is his effect like is he on like some Draymond shit? Is he like getting everybody?
No.
Is he making everybody else better?
No.
Is he both sides of the puck?
He does make everybody better.
Or not, maybe that's a bad example. Is he like Draisaitl? Because Draisaitl does a lot of everything. So, like, if you're looking for Draisaitl, like, Draisaitl will score goals and sick goals. But if you're just looking for Draisaitl to score goals, you might not get the whole Draisaitl experience. If you know what I'm saying. Because he's playing defense, he's passing the puck, he's pressing. Like, you feel me? Kind of like when you watch, I guess, like a Sam Bennett or like a Reinhardt player. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot they're doing on the ice that you're like, I'm looking for him to score a goal. That might not be the thing. But I thought Austin Matthews' thing was scoring goals. So that's where I'm like, is this, was it, you asked, like, is this like Harry Kane? Like, what is going on here? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, at least for Toronto in this series, like, and I'm looking at Stanley Cup odds right now. Dallas Stars plus 320, Hurricanes plus 330, Oilers plus 420, Maple Leafs plus
like,
600.
So you mean to tell me that Austin Matthews is better than Rantanen? The shit that I'm seeing?
Dude, natural hat trick.
Rantanen is taking over games himself.
Leading the postseason in goals. Went 6, 7, and 8 playoff goals right now, last night. And a natural hat trick.
So many things on the Rantanen thing, because I'm all over the place with hockey right now, but like on the Rantanen thing, right? So the game 7, he scores with 3 goals. All insane. I've never seen someone other than McDavid and a couple times McKinnon literally take the puck and skate around 3 guys through them and score in that kind of pressure situation is insane. I'm like, all right, so let me see. Like, I know, because that was one of the few guys in hockey that I knew. Like, when he first got traded to Carolina, I was like, oh, this is a big trade. So I'm like, damn, what kind of season did he have? Like, let me go see what was up with him. How many, like, I don't think in any other sport, any other professional sport, that you go and see the stats and you go to the main stat thing, whatever it is, points, batting average, points per game, yards in football, you would ever see a top 15 guy have 3 teams on his shit. Like, his shit literally says Colorado, Carolina, Dallas. And this guy's a top 15 point guy, probably playing the best hockey in the playoffs right now. Like, it was a kind of like a mindfuck for me. Like, you would never see this. Most you would see 2 teams, at most 3 on that motherfucker. Like, so is it like a not enough money in hockey thing? Like, every team that he has been traded to and from, you feel like would want and need a Rantanen on their team. Like, so is he just too expensive? Is he just like a wild card? Like, what's his deal?
This is just a guy. This is a huge move out of the Stars.
Like, is he just like a fit? I don't understand though. Like, is he like a bargain guy? That's like, I don't get it, because he's playing to me like a fucking superstar,
like an MVP.
So how are you on 3? Like, how is no one just like, fuck it, bro? We'll just give you the money. Like, that's kind of where my, like, how is Carolina? I guess it's Carolina is too good.
I'm sure Carolina's pretty pissed off.
Why don't you want to be the Warriors? Like, just be the Warriors. Why don't you have Rantanen on your team? Like, someone's got to educate me on that shit, bro. How is he on 3 fucking teams? And honestly, do we take the Star? Like, what are the Stars to? Because Robertson hasn't got his legs yet.
I know. And the Stars are plus 320.
Okay, that's probably why. So I'm watching them. I'm like, everyone else is kind of, I'm learning a lot about the Stars now and their other players. They got some dogs.
That's a big win for the Stars.
And Robertson
in the whiteout too in game 1.
Fuck yeah. So I
had the Jets.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I really just thought the whiteout was going to be a takeover. You score the first goal and then just 3 straight back to back from Rantanen. Yeah. And then
every time. The second one from Rantanen where he just kind of like puts it under, like, that was insane. How do you score that? Like,
and the sad part is the Jets had so many scoring chances in the third period.
I'm so happy you bet on that game, because let's get into it actually. You got to score one of your power plays.
I know. Because
here's my thing, right? Because this is kind of why I like playoff hockey, and just correct me if I'm wrong, because end of the second period, there's that tripping call that was missed. That's trip, right?
Oh yeah. That's
1,000% a fucking trip. Even me,
they missed 2.
I know shit fucking about hockey. I'm like, that's a fucking
They
trip.
missed 2 in the third period.
And then the cross check was a little ticky tacky, right?
They missed an interference too.
Are the refs like, we gave y'all 3 power plays already, and you did nothing with it? Like, score. Like, is that, or is it, did they just miss it?
Well, they definitely missed it.
Okay.
And like, The announcers were saying it too.
Because that changed. If you come into that third period was dead. If you come into that third period with the power plays.
Well, they came into the third period after it was down. It was 3-1. They scored with under a minute to go in the period. I'm like, this is the momentum, and then they came out strong in the third period, and then it was like the ice time in the offensive zone for the Jets for the third period was like way more than what the Stars had, and then it was scoring chance after scoring chance, Connor shots after Connor shots. I really just thought that like the Jets were going to find a way to score, and even when they pulled the net, when they pulled the goalie, and Hellebuck goes to the bench, they had a perfect scoring opportunity. The puck's getting batted around by stick after stick. I thought they were going to tie it with like 30 seconds to go and then go to overtime. This was just going to be another classic Jets overtime win. I caught him live again too before the power play because it was when the Stars won a power play. And then they committed the penalty, so it was
4-on-4, and then
it was Jets had a penalty for like
they
a
had
minute
to
and 40
tie it
seconds.
There. Yep.
And I caught him right before that at like plus 380.
Damn.
And I was like, dude, like
right here,
because I already had
right
the money line pre-game, and I'm like, I hate double dipping like that, but I'm like, this is the spot.
Fuck yeah.
Because if they can just kill the penalty, like we're fine. But then they get a power play, and it's a minute and 41 seconds they have on it, and it was just a lot of scoring changes. I thought one of those was going to work out for them. Losing the whiteout at home sucks for them. But again, the Jets, the Stars and the Avalanche this year were just proving that they were the two of the best teams in the league.
I don't understand, like, bro, Dallas's power play kill is so good.
Yeah.
I don't get it, though, because it's like, do y'all just find extra leg? Do they, because sometimes the camera changes and they be doing like, when the power play's called, they be like, show screen. Do they full change on power plays for the kill?
They got a kill lineup.
Okay, so that answers so many. Because I'll be watching the game and I'm like, bro, y'all were just getting dogged. Like that's how they someone got tripped. And y'all got a penalty. So why are we moving like this on the penalty kill? I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, so they have a penalty kill team. So their penalty kill team is just insane.
Yeah, they got it. There's like,
and they have like a special teams coach and shit.
Yeah.
That part of hockey to me is fucking sick. Also, another part of hockey to me was like, it might have been the Stars game or it might have been the Maple Leafs game. I wanted to ask this to someone that I wanted to ask this to like the Dumont someone because they played college hockey, so they probably understand this nuance like really, really, really deep. But so one team had they were attacking this way, and the team that was attacking this way had the puck on the blue line, kind of passed it back and forth. Some guy from the other team takes a chance to try to get the steal, misses it, instantly sub. Instantly knew who the guy who he was subbing for, instantly off the bench. I'm like, so my thing is like, okay, first question was like, do the hockey players know how long the shift is usually? Probably.
Yeah.
Second thing is, could he have already had called for a sub and the guy knew? Probably. But I'm like, are they just that type thing that like, if my guy goes for this chance, goes for the steal, like, and he's out of the play, I gotta know to get on the ice, or is it like premeditated? Like that to me was so fascinating, and it was like in the second period of the regular game. But it was like so cool. I'm like, this guy literally went for the steal, knowing if I get it, I can get a goal. If I don't get it, my sub's ready. My sub knows I'm doing. Like it was just like I'm like all the moving parts about that shit was so fire. I'm like I have no idea what the fuck that is, but I need someone like I want.
But that's also just how you get tapped into like hockey even more. It's just seeing the
shit like that.
High stakes moments in playoff hockey, and these guys just putting everything on the line.
Yeah, facts.
All right, over to the Truist, as I will be there for Friday's round, looking to do some whole betting
with a poncho on, of course.
With a poncho on, it's supposed to be 100% rain on Friday. I will be at the Truist at the Philadelphia Cricket Club, looking at some whole betting guys. I still haven't figured out who I'm going to follow yet. But at least for this kind of course with a lot of fairway bunkers, you got to be really accurate off the tee. Just going to be trying to find the guys that are accurate off the tee. And you can do on FanDuel, you can go by whole betting. Birdies are better. You can pick, over under in birdies for round one. But for the specific hole, I'm going to be looking at hole scores. And as an example, you can take, Wyndham Clark, par or better, birdie or better, bogey or worse in the second hole. So like you follow a group, you take, the specific bet, which the value is obviously birdie. So birdie or better, plus 130, plus 140, plus 150. And then you just Walk with them for that hole. Like that is real.
Wait, I feel like
that is the suspense and drama type of betting I want.
But them bogey odds is nice though. You catch somebody, you just 3-putted. Ooh.
Well, even with the rain, bogey or worse might be the play.
You just missed a 5-footer. You slammed your putter. Ooh.
You missed the fairway. You got to be accurate at Philly cricket. So you missed the fairway.
No, I'm saying like the hole before. Like I'm saying you're at the course. Let's say like you're at like between 13 and 14, and you're like in between the little box, and you see like Wyndham Clark miss a 5-footer for par, and he like slams his putter. You like, ooh, he about to bogey the next hole. Let me put this in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh.
Picking a group, picking a guy.
You see somebody feeling good off the green, a little fist bump, like, he might birdie this night. I like that. And you gotta find a good hole for that too.
I'm very excited to be following a specific group for birdie or better hole betting.
So you want to do do you go to like the scoreable holes, or do you go to like the sweats?
Probably.
Like, you feel me? Like, if you were at the Masters, would you go to like 2, or would you go to like 3, or would you go to like like
I'd
11?
honestly,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'd honestly like pick a par 3 and like
that's fire.
basically bet them to put it close and make the
that's
bet.
But
probably,
also, actually, that's probably the most fun one to do.
You like
because you probably can't, if you go on a par 4, you probably couldn't see the whole bet. That's probably the only way you can see your whole bet. If you like on a par 4, I guess you could.
Well, you can walk with them. So like,
but
my
like,
point,
as far as like your vantage point though, like if you post on a par 3, you could just get the best spot.
You can have the best spot.
Yeah, that's
but like
fire.
for my plan, I think is I want to do it on a par 4. I watch them tee off, and I have birdie or better, and then I walk with them up the fairway, obviously not in the fairway with them, and then watch them hit it on, and then have a shot, maybe 12-footer to make birdie and cash me. That's the plan.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Hole betting live at a PGA
Gotta
event.
do a hole in one, I feel like, right?
I was talking to our hole in one guy, and he was like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of hole in ones this week. Philadelphia cricket's just a tougher course. Going to be in the rain. We're going to be there in the rain on Friday specifically, because the value would be like, you take a hole in one bet, like just for Friday alone, and you just hear a roar from like 5 holes down. You're like, oh my God, we got it.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So I'm excited
gonna be
to be there.
So sick if it does happen. And what if it's Kurt? Like,
yeah, oh my God, I know.
But it would be probably a bad day.
And what I think I want to do is
but you can get sharp out there though. You're out. You see the conditions.
Oh yeah, and
you can get real sharp.
You can, and what helps too is we see in round 1 on Thursday, we see what it looks like. Obviously, much better day, condition wise, weather wise, but then you can kind of do like some total score betting
for sure.
Over 70.5,
even though
under 70.5,
and like you got boots on the ground, bro. Like you could be out there. Someone's like, man, no one can birdie 6 or something like that, and you're like, all right, I'm bogey or worse. This one, like you might be able to get real sharp out
and
there,
just talking with everybody that's there around us. Like,
plus, bro,
what do you guys like? What do you guys like?
A lot of Philly golf people, like for sure.
You're tapped in,
bro. A lot of Philly golf people are gonna be out there.
Oh yeah.
You're like, it's probably gonna be a lot of people that stepped on. Like, you might run into you play at the Jeffersonville tournament, I'll be out there, or even like little shit. Like, I mean, shit, bro. People that belong in certain courses. And
my God, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised you see other content creators. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I just hope hope the rain tries to hold off. We'll be drinking the specialty cocktails, having a great time, and you'll see some clips of us out there.
Yeah, too much networking going on. If it's a downpour, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, we'll be in the rain gear. It's gonna be a day. I'm just so excited to be going to the first boots on ground, first PGA Tour event live. Yeah, and placing some bets live. I just think that's gonna be, we can talk about after the fact. We can talk about top 3, top 5 funnest sweats live for betting. This one may be up there because you get to just walk with them.
Should pick a round leader.
Yeah, round leader after Friday too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, that's it for us.
Denny McCarthy, shout out to the Hoopers, man.
I know.
Hoopers hoop, man.
All right, that's it for us. We will be back. Let's go fucking Knicks. Orange and blue skies. Please just stay tapped in with playoff hockey. And as Manny said at the beginning of the show, NBA playoffs and the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs have just been
like, it's actually
unbelievable.
Crazy. It's actually crazy.
You can't favor one or the other.
I think it's been the best of the both since we've done the show.
And I think because looking at the Celtics series, like as an example, it was like Celtics were minus 1,000. So NHL fans could be like, well, I'm not watching these series. Like the 1 and 2 seeds are going to just dominate. There's no point. And then you get 2-0 in favor of the underdogs, and it's like, wait a minute, now we have a fucking series. Yeah. So please tap in with that. If you watch this on YouTube, make sure to drop a like, comment. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And Apple Podcasts and Spotify listeners, scroll to the bottom, give us those ratings. They keep us pushing on the audio platforms. We'll see it from the truest.
I ain't gonna say go Knicks, but
we got to get up there for a fucking for a watch party. I'm telling you.
yeah. Oh, I meant to say on this pod, bro. Fuck. Talking about the watch parties. I think those are so.
We gotta
fun.
get up there.
I
man.
wouldn't want to be in the first row though. Like I'm like, let me get in the like. You know, like I think who was it? Was it the It might have been like the Stars or the Winnipeg one. They had like a little bus in the back. Like I'm in the bus in the back. Like I like, yeah. Let me get in the bus in the back. Let me be in the